Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Happy Crypto here. So let's dive into a USTC update and kind of look into it a little bit more about what Do Kwon has said about the remaining funds in the LFG guard to make USTC holders whole again. So let's dive into it, and I feel this one's quite important because it kind of shows that there's a plan in place, it seems. So without further ado,
I guess in terms of the legacy, it's you move on from this, you build something else. And if it's Luna 2.0, that's one thing. But the legacy of everyone else in what they lost in this still continues.
Right.
So how do you square that in terms of, can you move on if other people out there are still reeling from their own personal losses?
It's a tough question. It's not easy. Especially because there's also a time series to this as well, right? Like, you could need that money right away to be able to do things for your family, and a crash like this just makes it impossible to do that. So I just don't have an answer there.
Luna Foundation Guard still has 200 million?
It's like 311 Bitcoin, and then like a large chunk of AVAX. So Avalanche wasn't touched during the PEG event, and then it has some.
Is that because there's a token lockup?
No, there's no token lockup. It just, you know, like if you tried to sell an altcoin when Bitcoin is crashing, it just wouldn't have worked.
Yeah. Pressures the price.
Right.
and I'm just going to pause it there. So if you don't know this, folks, they made it so much more worse by dumping Bitcoin into the market. It actually made everything 1,000 times worse, made a lot of things crash. So yeah, as you can see, they still hold a considerable amount in the LFG guard. So let's carry on going with this.
But when it comes to the last update on using that to make people whole, that was the last update I saw from LFG.
Yeah, so what we plan to do is basically do a program whereby in the first week, everybody that held up to, let's say, X thousand amount of UST can claim against this LFG reserve. And then week 2, that amount goes up. Week 3, that amount goes up again. And what we've been spending time doing is working with centralized exchanges to index the amount of users and their holdings in each bracket. Now, some of these exchanges have been rather slow in getting that data to us. And in some cases, like the data that they've provided was inflated over what was visible on chain. So we've been working with, the various different partners that have, worked with UST to make sure that the data that they provided to us is accurate. It's proving to take some time. Yeah. But once that process is over, we're going to liquidate all of LFG's holdings, and then, begin the process of making small holders get their airdrops.
So pretty much, as you can see, this is a plan that's put in place for people that are directly affected, not people who bought in whilst it was crashing, but people before the crash, it seems. And I know one influencer to be a good example for this, and this is Connor Kenny, or Connor Kenny. I know he was involved in the USTC crash. I know he lost a lot of money. He did manage to sell out in the end, as far as I'm aware, but he was affected by this. Now, because of the screenshots and them getting the correct, accurate data, it's likely someone like Connor Kenny would be able to make a claim against the LFG guard to get, compensation. And this goes across the board for all USTC holders. So this video in itself is a direct reach out to all of these people who are part of the crash way at the top, that this is going to be your opportunity to make, your counterclaim against them, so that you can get compensated properly. And I know Connor Kenny himself will be really happy to find out that the LFG funds to compensate USTC holders is in plan, and it is in play, and it means that people like him will be able to get a good portion of their money back, if not all of it. As to the fine details of this, I'm going to try investigate it more and actually get in contact, hopefully, with Do Kwon myself, because, I mean, if Vegas can do it, if Ed can do it, if all these other people can do it, then why can't HCC? So, hopefully, we can get some answers on that front, and I know there's an Agora text out there kind of outlining what this is, but, you know, a lot of people just consume most of their information off of YouTube, and I always see people like, why are you posting this stuff on YouTube for, and Twitter? It's like, because it's two different worlds, and there's 16k followers on Twitter and there's 9k followers on here, so it's kind of, we have to cover both sides of the ballpark. But feel free to come and watch the Coinage interview. This isn't just like one, this isn't the end. There's going to be more of this, and we're going to be doing more videos, one specifically on Basis Cash, and then really diving into this mole and responsibility and breaking that down in a video, because the fact that the likelihood there was a mole is not good. And the issue behind, and Coinage, Zach Guzman, he states this best, is if somebody come into his house, messed with his family, he would want to know who they are. And it kind of, Do Kwon seems to not be highly interested in pursuing who did this, who shorted it, who coordinated this attack. And it was a coordinated attack. For anyone to think it wasn't, I mean, coins don't just do this, especially one with a complex system like this. Somebody knew exactly what to do. Now, the LUNCPenguin's website is going to be receiving pretty much price graphs. So you folks will no longer need to rely on CoinMarketCap or any other provider for your graphing for LUNACLASSIC. And the best part about our graphing is it gets its price direct from on-chain, meaning that you get the exact price of what the coins are actually worth on-chain. So it's going to be really good to see that get added. There's many more things getting added all the time, and you know me, folks. If we can become better, if we can be better, we will become better, and it's as simple as that. And good news, they've named the node from the SG community group, and they've named it HCC Let It Burn, with a penguin and a fire emoji mixed in with the two. So congratulations to the SG team. We really are in good hands, and it does look like our community node is really going to become something far greater than anybody can comprehend. And I know there's going to be a lot of nodes out there, and they're all going to be giving you all these amazing reasons to stake with them. And my only reason to ask you folks to stake with me is for the simple fact is that you earn, we burn. And you trust us. You know that we're not in this jumping from project to project to project and just staying on what's trending. We're here because we were there way before. And I can honestly say this, Terra Rebels didn't exist back when we started, and it was just me and Vegas. And I didn't meet Vegas till about 2 weeks after I'd started the channels, and I was just kind of, you know, preaching the good word. And there was no, the whole reason I started doing this is because other influencers wouldn't cover it, and the people's live streams I used to go in, they just scoffed at me, and I laugh now because they cover LUNACLASSIC, and I love it. You know why I love it? Because it's more eyes, more ears on the movement itself, more people hearing about LUNACLASSIC, and I just love it. I think it's absolutely great, and I wish they just did it sooner. It would have been even better, because then we'd have more people that would know about this awesome coin that's being born again. So folks, you know how it rolls. What is dead may never die. Let me know in the comments section how that one ends. Let me know what you're sipping on. Let me know where you're hailing from. Folks, we are in the final countdown now. As of when you're watching this video, it will be 4 days away from that key date of the 26th of this month. Folks, stay safe out there. It's non-financial advice. Remember that. Always remember that. If you haven't subscribed here, consider subscribing. We provide solid updates, consistent updates. We've got 2 channels, one of which is community led. Totally non-profit, burns all of its revenue. That burn's coming this week. And then you've got the validators node, which is totally non-profit, 100% for the community, led by the community, built by the community, and speaks for the community. Folks, stay safe, beware of scammers, and we'll catch you in the next one.